Hello my crafty friends, it's Sharon Luska here from My Crafty Greetings, and this is the see-through foam tape video or homemade foam tape, homemade foam sheets. You can see I got these at Tuesday morning. I know Tuesday morning's not around anymore, but check out those stores like Home Goods or I'm not sure what it's called in the States. It's like a division of Winners. Anybody who sells like breakables though will have it. Ask around. Little boutiques that have jewelry, they frequently have it. So I collected up. My girlfriend Kathy P, you know who you are, she gave me a whole bunch of it. Some of it's a little more see-through than others, so I kind of saved that stuff for the things that I want great kind of transparency. And then of course you can see the different thicknesses here too. So it's great to collect whatever you can get, and I kind of keep mine organized in a bag here so that I can pull out a sheet quickly and easily. But I'm just showing you here there's different thicknesses. So anything that you're doing, you want a little bit of thickness, a lot of thickness. I've seen it up to like a ½ centimeter thick. It's all good, it's all useful, and it compresses really easily, and it's so easy to turn into transparent foam tape. And I'm gonna show you here. So here is the sheet before it's cut up, and I use a Xyron roll. So here is what the Xyron used to look like. And yes, I find my Xyron much more useful without this contraption. So on another channel, it shows you how to take the contraption apart and have just the rolls like I have. I will put it in the drop down box, and I will also pin it to my comments. I strongly recommend you subscribe to that channel. We're not going to talk about it because it could get me in trouble. Okay, I'm picking out a fairly transparent sheet here that is approximately the thickness of my foam tape. Now the nice thing is foam tape is fairly dense, and you can get much thinner sheets when you're getting these protective foam sheets than you can with your foam tape. I was bouncing that around to show you how lightweight it can be. So what you want to do is prep these sheets, look for holes, take any pieces of tape or debris. If there's any magic marker, it's still useful. It's just better as something for the back of a panel. I like to have it trimmed up so that it's somewhat square, and I just do that on my paper cutter, or you can scissor cut it too. You can use a ruler and draw a line on it if you want, whatever you like. And then I just unroll my Xyron sticker sheet. Now if you have sheets of two-sided tape, like two-sided tape in the sheet kind of category, you can also use that. That will work. I know Stick It will also work, but this is the cheapest, and you know I'm a cheap chicken. Now this is a fairly fresh roll, so it has that anti-stick stuff on the one side, so it gets a little crummy, but it cleans up easily with a microfiber cloth. And then just do your best to lay it out flat and unroll it. It's that simple. Is that crazy or what? How simple is that? And I don't use my Xyron. I don't even own a Xyron machine. I really wanted to do a video as to why you should throw your Xyron machine in the garbage, and I will put that on that other channel that I highly recommend you subscribe to. But anyways, give it a good firm rub, a good burnishing. And like I said, if you get these little bits on your hands, they vacuum up easily. Seal it nicely along the edge, because we're going to trim that off, and then you can reuse that as two-sided Stick It. It's just a double layer of it. But yeah, it's not that big a deal, not too hard. Now, as we go on through the video, I'm going to show you how to use it. I'm also going to show you a couple other ways that you can stick it besides the two-sided tape. And you can see here, this is still perfectly useful, so hang on to it. Don't want to waste it, because you never know, you may need a little bit of stick for something. So I just trim off that extra little bit there. And, you know, even if you put the Stick It tape or the Xyron on one side, don't forget you can always add glue to the other side, just like the craft foam sheets that have adhesive on them. Okay, I'm going to show you quickly how I use this see-through homemade foam tape with my delicate things, and I specifically have put on this birthday sentiment here my little dots of Tombow Mono Multi. They're dry, and I'm adhering it to the shadow outline that comes with this beautiful Simon Hurly set, and I cut that out of shrink film, Shrinky Dink, clear shrink, acetate, whatever you've got that's die cuttable. And I'm just sticking that on. You can see there's no squish out. of glue to ruin your sentiment or your acetate. Keeps it nice and clean and totally perfect. Now save your tittle inside your piece with a little bit of wall safe tape, and I put a dot of glue on it already. We set that aside to dry, and then here is a die cut that I have already glued up, and I'm just finding the smallest slip of acetate that we need just to give that a little bit of support. Now you can obviously just use the homemade foam tape. If you want to use the dots of glue, just only have the tape on the one side of the packing foam. And when you slice it up, then stick the little pre-glued sentiment piece or detail piece straight to it. But I do like the little bit of acetate to give it some support, and it gives it a little tiny bit of shine, which is fun too. So here's how you're gonna make the tape. And I know this is a hacked up piece, but it's the same whether it's a long piece or a short piece. You're just gonna pick any width that you want. So super skinny, super fat, whatever works for your project. Cut yourself up a bunch of strips, keep them in a little jar or something so you've got them handy when you need them. And then all you have to do is, just like your regular tape, if it was tape or on a release sheet, pull the nonstick side off, line it up on your project, and you are away to the races. Now I pre-stenciled this gorgeous little set of tulips from the Scrappy Tails 6x8 tulip and daffodil layering stencil. I love this layering stencil. It is so easy. If you haven't tried them yet, this one is a winner. Now I'm gonna line up my birthday sentiment here, so this is perfectly aligned. And what I'm gonna do is, now that I've removed the tape, I'm gonna take a little pokey tool and poke that through so that the dry Tombow Mono Multi can grab. Now I've taken the release paper off, and it's always smart to hover over your project and align this so that the catchy bits are not at the very edge of your paper. That is going to give you a much better finished look. Take a look before you set it down, and always cut your decorative stuff bigger. Now this is the wall safe tape that I was talking about. You got to have this in your stash. It's awesome. And I'm lining up my sentiments here the way I want them, and I'm going to put some of my wall safe tape on them so that it keeps them aligned while I put my homemade see-through foam tape on here. You see how these are all, some of them are closer together than others, or I've got some vertical stuff that I can use. This stuff hides especially well where things are close together. So you're not going to notice it between the gaps. So what I do is line it up at the edge of one cluster of letters, and then I'll trim it. And then I'll pick another cluster of letters to line it up with. Now don't forget, you won't see completely through it because of that liner, the release liner at the back. But once you get it in place, like over top of the H and the I, the H here, nobody's gonna notice it. And I just kind of pick the different spots. Now, ultimately, if you want to, you can run this tape the entire length of your sentiment and the entire length of the bottom part of this. You do it however you want to do it. That's up to you. This is the way I like to do it, is I like to pick and choose the little pieces that suit me. But once I get that layout, I kind of check it. You can see where I have put the pieces. You can always pause that. That is enough to hold this up and give it lots of great dimension. Okay, here's a super awesome trick. I'm going to tape this down to my desk, and I've got a full sheet of acetate here. I'm going to line up my sentiment and make sure that I have it where I want it to be. Now I've also taped down the back end of this acetate, so now it just can flip forward. Let me pick off all my little pieces of tape. What is it? Tape liner? Adhesive liner, whatever it is, the little bits that you find clinging to you after you've done your crafting, right? Aren't they everywhere? So sometimes in my hair, mostly in the dog's hair. Okay, so now we just let this flip forward, and it places it perfectly. And that way you can just push it down, peel off the tape. Oh, excuse my Lucky Craft sweater. It has some holes in it. I love that sweater though. I can't get rid of it. Anyways, this tape peels off very gently, very easily, and once we lift it up, we are away to the races. Now, there are other ways you can adhere this foam as well. We're going to use a little bit of ATG, and of course I love this foam not only because it's free, which makes it so cheap, I can see through it, so if I'm trimming it down for something, I can look right through, or I can also trace the outline of something if it's more intricate and I want to cut it out. There's so many virtues to this free packing foam hack. So I'm just going to use a little bit of ATG. Now, this is maybe a few more runs of ATG than I would use if I was just adhering it to paper to paper, but that gives it a good grab and give it a good rub. And then we're just going to take some Tombow Mono Multi. This loves to stick to a shiny surface. It does. And you just need a little bit or a lot of it, whatever you like. That's probably way more than we actually need, but we can flip this over and that will adhere the whole deal together. Love how this card has turned out. So there are a few more hacks that are available when it comes to this packing foam. I'm going to leave you with a few pictures of these gorgeous flowers, and don't forget to head on over because this video will be eventually removed from this channel and only available on the other channel. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.